You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Welcome here at BGGCon, the Board Game Snobs. I am the... Well, I was about to say star. I don't feel like the star. I feel like
Illustrious star?
What'd you say?
Illustrious star?
No, I'm not as illustrious as I used to be. I think people recognize... This is Jerry, and Gobby's here. He's hosting.
Hello.
And I'm here too.
Enrique's
Yay!
Oh,
Laid
God.
back down.
I'm not to
He cheers
fight.
himself.
Not to fight with Lindsay over this stardom thing, but I feel less and less of a star.
Well, she really did, finally alleviate all that much later.
I know, but still.
But we still stuck to it, and we haven't really changed.
I feel like I need to be the host.
The coast?
Yes. I said coast. I meant to say co-host, but then I went to host, and I stuttered.
You're the coast.
The coast.
East Coast? West Coast?
East side.
Why you
Either
want to
way.
be coast host?
No.
You know what I feel like? Here's the thing. With recording, both of y'all are literally reclined in bed.
We are. It's
low
fun.
energy.
I'm not low energy.
And I'm here.
Sitting.
The lights are low. We just ate pizza.
Is that Domino's?
Low energy.
That's Pizza Hut.
But this is the
Need
only
to
time I
jazz
can
it up.
actually speak
Well,
clearly.
Well, I was
You
going to
can?
jazz it up a little bit because I wanted to bring out that we're doing our new format that we were told don't change anything. But
The boss of us.
yeah,
Even though we asked for stuff.
yes, but we did change something. We've had many people complain that apparently we don't talk about enough board games. That's probably not going to change. But we are going to talk about the board games right off the bat. Then
There you go.
those that don't want to listen to the banter,
They can tune right out.
just
tune right out.
zone it out.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that will help us capture those that aren't board game adjacent. They're just board gamers.
Those that are of the Dice Tower, Board Game Barrage, milieu.
If you have broad horizons or want to broaden your horizons, then you'll stick around for the banter.
Continue to listen. For
And
the
continue to
pointless
listen.
banter.
It's not pointless because some of this
I have
banter,
several points.
some of this banter has teeth.
Yeah, it does.
There you go.
pointed teeth.
Speaking
Like
of teeth,
sharp
my
teeth.
tooth is still rough.
No, this is banter you're going to say for after the reviews.
Got hard merged. All right. So the first review
There we go.
that we're going to do has to do with the last light. Last light.
Last
Last Light.
Light by Roy Canaday. If only his name was Canaanite, it would have made much, Last Light, Canaanite. Not only does it rhyme, but also you're in space in this game. What are you looking for, Enrique?
Light.
No.
You look lost. You okay?
No, I just realized something
What?
that I didn't have in hand. My
Your phone?
game that I bought.
He bought a
recently.
solo game. Please stay on topic.
That solo game. I realized that.
It was brought up here. It's
It's in
safe
your
somewhere.
bag. It's in your
Okay.
bag.
He's freaking out.
Remember you had it in a little
He's freaking
baggie.
out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if I actually brought it up here.
The baggie?
Y'all
Yeah.
did.
I didn't see it.
Surely. You brought it up here.
No, it's the one that had the fox thing. You
Yeah,
left it
yeah.
down there at the last light. It's at the hotness.
Oh, my God.
It's okay. We'll go back and get it.
It was only $20.
It's
You
okay.
can afford it.
So I feel like since we're doing this new format,
Let's do it.
I feel like I should read the description of Last Light because that's what every boring podcast thing, and this is what they do, so this is what we shall do.
Is this what you want? Well, here you go.
Oh, I hope you like it. Last Light, Gray Fox Game is the producers. 2 to 4 players, purports to play in about an hour. And it is a fast-paced 4X game with 3D planets and a rotating board in which players playing They put that wrong. Asymmetrical alien factions, I'll do a correction, simultaneously gather light right before the heat death of the universe. I did not realize that was the theme.
I
knew you were gathering light.
Depth of the heat
death?
Heat death. So, like, everything, the lights are fixing to go out, and everything's fixing to get real cold. So you're trying to collect the last light. I'm sure if you read, like, the rule book, it would have given you their little story that they come up with, which really never has any bearing on the game. Okay, well, finish your stuff first before I give my review.
Okay. Simply about this game, what's kind of its hook is that it has this very nice looking board with some very interesting little inlay type things on it, and these 3D standing, look like marble planets that are also very functional, makes the game look very nice, and the board rotates. It has like two dials in the middle, so that as the players are expanding out into these planets, they rotate around and spin around, like looks like kind of like the universe would do, like a solar system, which changes some of the positions players and make certain things that weren't adjacent, and so forth. So that's kind of the hook of the game. The other hook of the game was that supposedly it's only supposed to be an hour long, and it's played simultaneously. Very similar mechanism as Concordia, where everybody you play the cards, everybody do your thing. All the rules are on the 6 cards that you start off with. You have your own little player board that you use to upgrade your ships, which is also very simple. This game is very streamlined.
You say Concordia, but Concordia has like the multiplier thing.
No, I'm not talking about the multipliers on the card. I'm saying that the rules are all on the card, like Concordia.
Right.
You
but
play
I
the
was
cards and you pick them up.
To me, it reminds me more in that regard of the Mars game where you're playing cards.
Yeah, Red Planet.
Mission Red Planet. It reminded me more of that in the card playing aspect.
So the actual mechanism of laying the cards down, everybody doing their thing, is like that. But it also has, if you just read the card, the rules are on the card.
Right. But when you first said it's Concordia at the end game scoring, there's those multipliers depending on the cards you buy.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
That's what made me think about.
No, I was thinking about, plus the thing where you refresh your hand in Concordia. Yeah. That's not in Mission Red Planet. But anyways, this is obviously a very streamlined game. It's been well play tested. I don't think it plays in an hour. We played it twice now. It has not played in an hour. I think but still.
Are you speaking more or less?
It's more.
Yeah.
Plays much longer. It's closer to 2 in my opinion. But things about this game that are very interesting is that hook of how easy it is to teach, how easy it is to figure out. It's very intuitive. It's very streamlined. It's very nice looking, especially if you get the upgraded edition, where it has more the actual ships.
The table presence is fantastic.
It is very nice.
That's what a lot of people love, and it is. It's really nice. It's a nice game to look at.
If you're fickle, you'll really like the fact that it just looks nice.
Fickle?
Fickle.
I don't know. If you're fickle, you can be easily persuaded in one way or another.
Fickle?
Like, fickle means like you can be easily persuaded.
Does it?
Yeah.
Changing frequently, especially as regards to one's loyalties, interest, or affection.
Yeah, you're fickle. Like, if you tell me it looks bad and present me with a few dollars, I'll say that's bad. I don't know what you mean when you're saying fickle, but you're talking about table presence. If you're shallow and just like appearances.
Well, it's like, when I say fickle, I mean that people like the game just based on appearance. They're shallow, like Hal.
It's a shallow point of view to just like something based on appearance.
Shallow Hal. So you got like Jet, what's his name? Remember that show?
Jet Black?
Yeah, Jet Black. Well, no, because I was thinking of like Shallow Hal.
Yeah.
Because you had, what's his name? The comedian, Jack Black. But you also had Hal, who was a computer on the space show.
Right.
So what if they had Shallow Hal? It's just a really fickle computer. It's like,
he's only attracted to people based on their appearances.
You look like you're putting on some weight, David. Looks like your wife might leave you, David.
You need a little more makeup, David. I've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey because I've I've started it
It's
several
trippy.
times, and it looks. I can't get past the apes with the monument.
Well, that's
Wait, we're veering. Stick to the review. We're changing our ways here on the Board Game Snobs.
we are. We're sticking with the review.
Last light, I said it's streamlined Eclipse. I'm giving it a lot more credit. It's not a. Here's the review. It's not great. It's not bad. It's fine.
That's your reviews for a lot of things, because most games today aren't great. They're fine.
You know what? I'll say this for it. You've played it twice.
Yes.
And we finished it both times. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. Here's the thing with the way it looks. I think that enhances a fine game. Like when you know your game is just fine, it's okay. It's a 5 to 6 out of 10. Making it very pretty definitely helps.
Right.
Because through the process of you're playing your cards, you're moving your ships to these planets, the board rotates. That's cool. Is it necessary? No, not really. But it like shifts your ships around where you're on the other side of the map, and you could like jump off into somebody else's sector pretty quick. That's interesting. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
So here's one thing I'll say about it. And this sounds very complimentary, but also if you read between the lines, it is not. This is a game which I have played now with two separate. We've had different people in the groups that was with us, people we just met at the con. I've overheard each group say the same thing about the game. They liked it. They're not sure they would buy it. And here's why. This game, if you were going to utilize this to kind of as a next step up or to get people involved in the board gaming hobby, this is a perfect game for that. This is like the introductory 4X game. I don't want an introductory 4X game because I'm not introductory. I've been there, done that. So playing this, I appreciate it's obviously been play tested. It's obviously very streamlined. You took mechanisms that make sense. The rule book there's some things out of the rule book that I didn't catch that maybe need some clarification. The components are spot on. So this game was designed not for me. I have Eclipse. I have TI4. I like these bigger, meatier games. This game is fine.
I like a little meat on my game.
It doesn't hit the spot that I need. So there's nothing wrong with this game per se. I think this game is only suited for those that are like lighter.
Do you enjoy Via Nebula? This game is for you.
Via Nebula?
You remember that game? The Martin Wallace game?
Yeah, I have it. I love it.
Not in the fact that
it was
that same type of game.
It was toned down
that
brass
style, right? It's that style of the hardcore gamers might like Twilight Imperium, Eclipse. If you just get into stuff, this game's for you. It's pretty basic. Jerry taught the rules rather quickly. Even at that, though, here's my one negative of the game. Not one negative, but the one thing that I had difficulty with is you have to make sure everyone is playing their card at the right time, because you can get ahead of yourself, you can get behind if everyone is not paying attention to, we're all playing our cards now.
Well, that's why.
Which you did religiously, and you were good at it. But then you have people like me that get distracted, and I kind of kept losing track of, oh crap, should I have played a card now? Wait, or am I ahead?
Because all the cards are played simultaneously.
Yes.
You just have to have everybody push their card out face down in front of them out in the middle, and then flip them. That way you can see it. But yes, it is difficult to get everybody motivated.
Because the issue is, and that's why I asked you when you first hollered at me, because there's a card when you recall all your cards, or there's technologies that'll enable you to pick up cards off that you've already played. Mm-hmm. So you can't rely on the fact that, oh, wait, you've played this many cards, so I should have this many cards down. Because I can look at Jerry's stack of cards, and he's got 1 or 2 down when I have 4. So that doesn't mean I've gotten ahead of myself or Jerry's gotten behind. It could mean Jerry has a technology that's enabled him to pick up cards, or he's already refreshed.
Made sense. And so I would just say that this game, if you've played Eclipse and you just didn't like the length and the complexity of it, and you're looking for a 4X game that is certainly more accessible and has a table press, there you go. This is the game for you. This is a game that I wouldn't buy. It was fine. Obviously, I'm willing to play it because I played it multiple times and taught it here at the con. It doesn't bother me to play it. It's enjoyable. It's very streamlined and very bare bones. This is what you're going to do for combat. Roll these dice, do these things. And so there you go. It's fine. I enjoyed it. I think it has a place. It's the entry level 4X space game, in my opinion.
I concur.
And I think it's a fine production. Good job, Gray Fox Games.
If I had a family that was into my family gaming stuff, I would purchase this and say, this would be the game that I think I can get them to play.
Enrique, your thoughts?
Oh, wait, hold on. Well, he was nose breathing into the mic, so I got to turn it on. Okay, go ahead. Speak, Enrique.
Yeah, like, it was a good game.
Okay, thank you. Not just joking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just joking.
But it is a good introductory.
Oh, my God.
That's why.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just can't say.
You're way too relaxed.
I know.
Why are you?
You need to arouse yourself.
No.
To the microphone.
No, please stop. Like what? Just like get up?
There you go.
Just like, get up.
Enunciate.
Enunciate.
Yeah, you're like half asleep over
But
there.
it is a good beginner game. Like this very...
And we're being very, like, it is not a beginner game.
It's
like,
next
it's not
level.
Ticket to Ride.
It's the next level.
I would say it's beyond next level.
What do you...
Because we are accomplished gamers.
It's a 2.7 on BGG, I believe.
We are accomplished gamers. This is not a Ticket to Ride level by any means. It's not even the next step beyond that. I think it's the next step beyond that before you get to Eclipse and all that stuff. It's probably like the third level in.
Yeah, it's there, but it's
we need to start leveling stuff.
It's not.
It's not super difficult, no, but there's a lot going on in this game.
But can I do? I will throw out a compliment to the designer.
Well, of course, go ahead.
Because I thought that this is his first. Isn't this Roy Canada's first real game that he's published? I believe. Because I've heard.
I don't know that he's published any others.
I've heard people talk a lot about it, and one thing that I see people doing when they design their first game, they put the kitchen sink in it. Like everything's more complicated. They don't rein anything in. This feels like this game started off to be way more complicated, and they kept cutting it down and cutting it down and cutting it down and streamlining and eventually going, no, just they knew what they were. He was aware enough of the design process not to make something super overly complicated, because that's what ends up happening when you're making your first or second game. When you're a new designer, it always seems like they go all in, and here's this Kickstarter with all this junk, and it's just...
I would like to think that if he did or did not have extra stuff in there, I would like to think that him being of the Dice Tower crew, that him having the man himself, Tom Vassell there, Mike DeLizio, several others, they're like what better playtesting group would you want hypothetically?
Yeah, cut this down. Yeah.
So just like, okay, no, this is what you need, Roy. This is what you need. Take this out, take this out, make this change.
Just a bit of advice to all the new designers, especially you got Mike out there doing his mixtape.
Mixing it up.
There you go. Don't make it overly complicated.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Simple is best.
This concludes the board game portion of this podcast. If you'd like to hang around for hearing us talk about, I don't know, whatever else you might... Nonsense. Please do. If not, go ahead and send us an email at boardgamesnobs@gmail.com.
I give it a 6 out of 10. Enrique, what was your rating?
That sounds solid.
6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Enrique, Jerry?
6.
Yeah.
6. This is the sign of the devil of a game.
I don't know.
The wild beast is fixing to come attack. That's for all you Revelation heads out there. Revelation.
No breathing.
This is not. I don't even know what. Well, all of a sudden, y'all turned into like the most generic. Where there's a Christian rock band. I'm Father Roach. Revelations.
Papa Roach. Father
Roach.
Yeah,
Father. It works.
Sense.
It works.
It works.
You come in there. The Christian.
Speaking
rock
of
band.
Christians, he's texting
Solar's
right now.
texting
We met
you.
up with Christian Solar as Soul Train.
He has bourbon. We need to wrap this up.
He's got some good bourbon called Doc Swinson. Apparently a friend of his has made it. When he said a friend of mine made it, I don't mean that his friend owns a distillery or...
He owns... He's told you that yesterday.
Okay.
You had this conversation.
Okay,
he
well,
owns
I
a
have
distillery.
short-term memory.
No, you don't. You just don't listen.
Short-term and long-term.
You have no term memory.
Enrique, I have no memory. Just
have
basically,
no
I have no
memory.
memory. I have no memory.
Which drives me insane, but that's okay.
Drives me crazy. Woo, woo, Fine Young Cannibals. I remember that.
I have no idea why you're bringing up cannibalism. You know how I feel about that.
Drive me crazy. Woo, woo. Fine Young Cannibals. Fine. That was a weird name to go with your band.
Fine?
Fine? Like
Young.
I'm fine, bruh. Young Cannibals.
So
Like, that's the name they went with in the
they're good.
80s.
They're not old, nasty cannibals.
They're not old nasty. They're good looking, young, vibrant cannibals.
And what you've seen on what people have been doing with the carnivore diet, perhaps they would have been fine young cannibals.
They perhaps are, but that would imply you're eating the flesh of a human.
True.
Or whatever species you happen to be a part of.
You can cannibalize. Chickens will cannibalize.
They will?
Yeah, they will definitely eat
Hogs
themselves.
will cannibalize.
I know hogs will. But
Dogs.
I didn't know.
I mean, like anything.
But
can.
I've always heard that if like hogs do that, then they're they're done. Or is that not? Like there's some animals, like if they eat of themselves, if they cannibalize their own species, like after that they kind of like go crazy.
Let me find out. Go ahead. Keep
That
talking.
may not be pigs, because pigs do literally. What about goats? Goats eat anything.
No, they do not. And that is a misnomer.
Is it a misnomer?
They do not.
So they don't eat cans,
No.
chicken, and other goats.
No. That is
You're a goat, man.
everybody who says that about goats, that's like something that
Jerry Baker. That's what your name should be, because you raise goats.
And why is that? Is it just because of... Is that
They've got a
referring to
bad rap.
something?
Goats have got a bad rap. But I like goats. Baby goats are some of the cutest little animals there is.
Well, I guess...
Especially when they hop off stuff, like other goats and walls and parkouring off of tree stumps and stuff. Baby goats are adorable.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Baby
yeah.
goats are baby sheep. Baby goats are cuter than baby sheep. And sheep are supposed to be docile and ready to do whatever you want them to do.
But no. they're
I'm
not.
a sheep guy, but I prefer goats over sheep, so I'm a goat guy. Anybody?
Savaging of
Anybody?
piglets.
Wait, what?
Savaging of piglets.
Yes, savaging of
I feel like
piglets.
this is fixing to get dark.
Apparently,
It is.
a
Fixing to
pig
get
that
dark.
eats their young that becomes
Oh, that's
kind of
hardcore.
a issue because they will continue to do
Kind
so.
of an issue.
Yes.
We got kind of an issue here. They ate their children.
Yeah, so prairie dogs apparently are cannibals.
Prairie dogs eat themselves?
Hamsters, yeah. So it's known as
Hamsters
savaging.
they eat
Pigs
themselves?
the pigs will just eat their first
They
litter.
eat their young?
It often occurs with a pig's first litter. It's attributed to a hormone change prior to birth, and thus because of their nervousness. Hedgehogs
They-
cannibalize.
they eat-
Rabbits, well, you know rabbits do.
See, I've heard the same thing of cats, and I just don't
I've never
want to
heard
believe
of
that.
cats. Cats don't.
And I don't believe it because my baby Rio, he wouldn't eat nobody.
Baby, I'm just saying that now. So
My son
while
Rio.
we're talking about cannibals,
Drive me crazy. Ooh, ooh.
so also one other thing I was thinking about in reference to this convention, we had several games which we got to play. Some of them were remakes or new renditions. For instance, I brought up that we got to play the new edition. What's the Spiel des Jahres game that we don't like? El Grande. El Grande. It's still El Grande. I don't know why people like it, but again, there it is. It looks much nicer. Chinatown didn't get a reprint, but it got a new redoing.
Facelift.
Windfall something.
Every old barn needs a fresh new coat of paint.
Waterfall. What was it called?
Waterfall Park.
That was interesting that there's so many things that they're just
Well,
redoing.
they do a lot of reskin, like Chinatown. Like, why did they need a new name?
They thought it was offensive. There's people.
Was it
actually-
offensive?
It's Chinatown. Some people thought it was. It doesn't have to necessarily be offensive. It's just people think it's offensive.
As long as they think it is, got to redo it.
Right. And plus, this day and age, everybody's trying to be careful and not offend anybody.
In Waterfall Park, I mean, what's offensive about
You shouldn't go
waterfalls?
chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing them. You got to stick to the bodies of water that you're used to,
Correct.
such as lakes, rivers, creeks.
Turn a blind eye to those waterfalls.
Just turn them away. Stick to waterfalls. No, wait. Don't go waterfalls. We had this discussion already when I finally realized what that song actually meant.
What does it mean? I forgot. Been episodes ago.
Basically, just stick to your mate.
Floundering. Flandering.
Stick
Ned
to your mate and
Flandering.
don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used
That's
to.
what it means.
Which, I mean, they say that in a plural form.
We have no philanderers here.
I am loyal to my wife.
You just had your anniversary of 25 years.
I've been married to my
I'm not
wife.
quite. We haven't quite made 20 yet. We will soon.
25
Enrique,
years.
I have no one.
You have your
well,
family.
That's very odd.
You have us.
You don't have no one,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Clarify.
but you have no significant other.
Okay, that's a little bit more.
You
You're
have-
not in a romantic relationship
You're not
with
entangled.
anyone else.
That is correct.
Entangled.
Yes.
They haven't grabbed you up in their web.
Yes.
What? What did you say?
You're not in a romantic relationship.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, I
But
thought,
but it's not that you don't have no one,
You have people.
which is a double negative, meaning you have everyone. But you
Which would
have
be
people that care about
philandering.
you. Yeah, that would be philandering.
You don't want to don't have no one, because then you would be with everyone.
I don't have no one.
And if
I
you'll
have
go with
everyone.
anyone, you'll fall for that's the same every.
Phil Anders.
you guys are hurting yourself. Trying.
No, I'm just. We're
No.
just. We're asking.
We're asking,
making
out of
sure
concern
we-
that you're happy with your life.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy.
So
Pretty
there
happy.
is. You do not looking for a Mrs. Enrique.
As of this moment, no.
Well, there's only 3 people in this room, so yeah, you wouldn't be looking at this moment.
Obviously,
Obviously.
you give me
But
some
if
heavy
you
eye contact. right
let me
now.
ask
Oh,
you,
no.
do you picture her in your mind's eye?
The mind eye,
The mind eye.
The mind's eye?
Yes. If you imagine,
singular mind.
what kind of woman are you after?
I'm not sure, to be all honest.
You're not sure.
Like, I've never really just thought
What
about
if you
it.
were half honest?
Half honest?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never really just thought about it. Just looking
Is she
for
a
someone.
gamer or is she completely different than you?
Probably just completely different.
That's
Than
God
you.
hope so.
Yeah, because
Tall, short,
doesn't matter to me.
Wow.
brunette, redhead.
He doesn't care.
Yeah,
That's some pretty solid body positivity there. Come as you are.
yeah. But
You're a good
far-
man, Enrique.
It's more of
Eh.
who will
Put up with you.
agree to be with Enrique.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Phil's
We're
Like,
having
it-
problems there.
Like that's going to be
That
a
might
little
be the
bit harder
key.
to
Well,
find.
here at this convention,
Oh,
we've
no.
not seen anybody that looked like they would
We'll try
give,
to find someone for
give
you.
you the
here.
time of day.
Yeah, very funny.
Well, like, have you ever heard of Enrique Zamora, the Board Game Snobs podcast? He's right over here.
Mm,
He has an established mustache.
it's okay, I guess.
Oh, it's established.
All right.
He's
Okay.
making lots of. It's okay. Okay, your conversation skills are quite
Oh yeah,
poor.
they're
This
non-existent.
might explain why you don't have nobody.
You gotta
Here.
kick it up a
All right,
notch.
Gabi, show him how it's done. I'll be the
Oh,
your target.
God.
I'm the person of
You're
your.
my target.
Yeah, you hit on me.
Are
I'm
we
just
doing
here.
this?
So
Okay, let's
give
see.
me your throw the rizz.
I don't have any rizz. I just remember what I did with my wife, and that's like just crack dumb jokes. But also,
Well,
like,
do what
that
you gotta
works.
do.
I had to feel it in that moment. But okay, like okay.
Hello.
Hey, how you like board games, huh?
Yes,
You're here at Board Game Geek, huh?
yes, I enjoy a good board game.
What do you like? You found anything you like to play?
I like negotiation.
You like negotiating? Well, you know, I like negotiating too. What's your number? We'll negotiate sometime together.
Thank you very much, though. I think
No. How about your Instagram?
I'm gonna go find
Email address? Excuse me, ma'am.
There she goes. See, you got it. Yeah, that's that. Enrique. No,
okay.
You can't
This
just go.
is terrible.
Well, no, it was terrible. They did an awful.
I did a direct approach.
You
That was
did-
a very direct approach. Sometimes that's
Gabi,
too,
you're
that's
not
too
good at
much.
direct approach.
Back in the day, I did the direct approach because you had to ask for digits. Nowadays,
yeah.
what's your Snap, TikTok, whatever? I don't know how kids do it these days. They don't
No,
even
we
talk to
just-
each other.
No, we just
No,
search
let me
through
just
the web.
text you.
We search through the web. We find a phone number. Boom. We got.
Let me
the
send you a
number.
few emojis. All right, Jerry. How about me?
about you.
I'll be the.
What I would do.
significant
What I would do. I'd go get a 2-player only game first.
Hey,
Check that out, and then I'd come up and say, "Hey,
yeah.
you want to play this with me?"
What is it?
It'd just be I'd insert the name of a 2-player game.
Sky Team.
Yeah.
Sky Team. I love airplanes.
Well, let's go. See. It's already
They're my
successful.
favorite form of propulsion.
See, there you go. See, that's all it took.
I
Enrique.
love winged aircraft.
Oh my god!
Not a helicopter
As
fan.
opposed to, I do not like helicopters. I got a parent that's a helicopter.
Fixed wings only.
I'm a fixed wings only person, and I find it strange that in space movies they give them wings because there's no air, so they don't need the lift.
Okay, just what do you?
About the space movies. I don't know. I'm stuck. I can't get out.
Okay. That's
Please stop.
You do make a fine point though, because like you think of the Vipers in Battlestar Galactica, they didn't have any wings.
Like, what's the point?
It really bothers me in Star Wars though, the TIE fighters, because like how do you look to the left or right? You can't.
You just got walls.
You just got walls. You
Just
got
a wall.
those are solar panels. Like they got.
Or even the X-wings. Like, they're like, all right, get ready, boys. And they like spread their wings out into the X formation.
Yeah.
It's like, it's completely pointless.
Well,
There's no air in space.
Well, they do that so they shoot 4 lasers. But I don't get it as well.
Yeah.
The Z95 Headhunter, the predecessor to the X-wing, which is going to geek out a little bit.
You really
they
did.
didn't spread their wings because they didn't have them. They're just fixed. So
Which as it should be.
as it should be.
Because you have thrusters in space. You don't have wings.
And I'm an A-wing person myself. Enrique?
Why?
The
Why?
Y is slow.
I like the Y-wing.
It's slow. Like a workhorse.
I mean, you got to do the X, but
Are we talking about
I like the Y.
original Star Wars?
Any Star Wars. Throw it out there.
A-wings.
There you go.
I like A-wings.
Hey. Bunch of Italian pilots. Hey. We've got a situation here. Remember that guy?
Let me ask you a question.
Mike the Situation?
Why?
Do you remember him?
Yes.
What happened to him?
They just did a reunion episode thing on MTV.
Did it?
Every one of them apparently were available to come back for a reunion of the Jersey Shore, and all of them are still just as they were, except the girls have babies now.
Obviously.
Because I never liked the main one, Snooki. Didn't like her.
Nobody liked
Didn't like
Snooki.
her.
I watched
No
one
one cares.
episode.
I
of
liked
Snooki.
her friend who was, I can't remember
I just
her name.
remember Snooki and the Mike situation.
I never watched the show.
What?
I only know them peripherally because they were everywhere. Even at that day and time, like at the
You couldn't get away from them.
burgeoning of the internet,
Yeah.
like they were everywhere.
What?
And I never watched the show because it was basically just a bunch of people just getting drunk and cussing and everybody sleeping with everybody else. I just wasn't a show.
was on
wasn't
television.
It wasn't a family show.
What was the situation? Why did they? Do you think he
They
gave himself that nickname?
I don't know, because it was like something to do with his abs. Like, here's the situation. And he'd lift up his shirt and he was like super abbed
That
out.
doesn't make sense.
I think it had something to do with the situation of his abs, though.
Yeah, but did
Like,
he
there
give
you
him?
go,
He
bam.
gave himself.
I could see him giving himself
If
that name.
that's you
If
don't.
you could give yourself a nickname, Enrique, what would it be?
I've
Ooh.
nicknamed him several things.
I know you have, but those are all just like
You're an X-wing pilot. You have to pick your call sign.
don't put me up right on the spot for
Gobby?
this.
I have one in mind, but you have to come back to me momentarily. What's yours?
Okay, well, I've already had a call sign.
What was it?
Reverend.
Reverend Blue Jeans.
No, it's just Reverend.
Reverend.
For some reason, that's what the fire chief used to always call me.
You don't know why.
I never ask. He would nickname people things, and I'm sure there was a reason for it. But he just called me, "Hey, what's going on, Reverend?" Like you know. I don't know if it's like a you think of like an old timey pastor there in the westerns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he got it, but that's what he called me forever. And strangely enough, in Phantom Leader, my solo board game, there's a pilot called Reverend. That was one I always used, always picked him.
Mine would probably be, what's up, Prozac?
Prozac.
Prozac?
Yeah.
Where do you get Prozac
Why?
from?
So you're not against Zachary.
I'm not exactly.
You're very much for
I'm
Zachary.
Prozac.
What's Prozac?
It's an antidepressant.
Seriously? Okay.
What's your call sign?
I'll probably just go with the bat.
The Bat?
Yeah, because
Bat.
When you say the Bat, that's really
Nobody says the bat.
like
They would call you
bat.
bat.
they'd call you Bat. Like the something is really pretentious.
okay,
That's
then bat.
presumptuous.
The Iceman.
It's very
I thought
presumptuous.
it was a little bit too much.
Ice
So
Man's
let's
a
go with
bat?
bat. Yeah,
You just be Bat.
or yeah,
Just Bat.
yeah,
Not Batman, just Bat.
yeah, bat.
like a striking device, like for baseball, or a bat like the blind sonar creature?
Probably the blind sonar creature.
Okay, that makes sense because you have poor eyesight.
Yes. Like, probably worse than yours.
Yes. I was flipping through the channels the other night, and I have not watched any of the Fast and Furious hardly, except the greatest one, Tokyo Drift. And I come across this channel.
And you might be saying that facetiously. I don't know if you are, but it is one of the best ones.
And there was this submarine, a nuclear submarine.
That was 7.
An Aquila-class nuclear submarine.
8. It was number 8.
And it looked like Ludacris
Yeah.
and several people and The Rock
Yeah, they shot torpedoes at the
were
submarine
trying
eyes.
to figure out how to get on a submarine. And just the glancing of that, I thought, oh, God, this is going to be one of those Fast and Furious things.
That was the end of the movie.
How insane that this is a thing.
It was amazing.
And that people watch this.
Because it was in Russia, and Russians just got like submarines all over the place.
Obviously.
I was watching a show just the other day. What was I watching?
We got subways over here.
And it was a submarine that could not be tracked, and they fired a missile, and then it was coming back at itself because the AI had.
Oh, you're talking about
What was that?
Mission Impossible.
That was Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
What's submarines? Everything, like, if you want to make a spy movie or have something, it's like you have to have
because
a submarine.
submarines are just tension in and of themselves. It's like we're underwater, thousands of tons of pressure. If something bad happens, we're all dead. Like instantly, we're all dead. We're either going to suffocate or we're going to get crushed and implode. And it's like, it's just a natural born tension into a submarine movie.
Just like those poor people that went to go
No one
toward...
asked for that. The Titan?
Yeah,
R.I.P.
the Titan.
R.I.P. Too late.
R.I.P.
Too soon.
Too soon and too late.
Yes,
actually.
very much.
Although there is no like too late because like they imploded without comprehension of consciousness. Like you can't even. They died before they even knew they died.
Which is typical. Nobody knows they've died.
The movies would have it be different. So Jerry, in your experience, and
Yes.
I think you've mentioned this previously, in your hospice care and dealing with people dying in your life in EMT, etc.
No, thank you for clarifying that. People think I'm just killing people.
I just didn't want people to think like you're not a serial killer or nothing. There's very rarely like the person that's like, oh well, I love you and just remember to always look towards the future because the sun is always brighter in the west. God bless your soul. And then they just close their eyes and die.
No, that doesn't typically not. No. Most people have been basically sleeping or completely comatose, unable to be, completely unresponsive for hours or days. That whole now
your last words.
Yeah, now traumatic deaths is different. Like in that's something that was
like in a car wreck.
Like in a car wreck, yeah, you have somebody bleeding internally, something like that. You're on the ambulance, they're talking to you, and then they just fall over. Yeah, that's more common. That's actually is very common in T-bones and side swipes. When if someone gets hit, they'll like poke a hole in your vena cava, one of your arteries. And then they're bleeding, but they don't know it because you don't really feel it. And then they're sitting there talking to you, and all of a sudden they say, "I don't feel good," and they just fall over. That's.
But then they don't get to like give any wise last words.
No, you don't. You don't feel like, oh, I am about to die. I need to impart knowledge onto somebody. Which really, if you haven't said,
if I don't even have like last words to say. Peace and love.
That's meaningless. Like you said, like that thing means nothing. Like that would be awful last.
Okay. What is something wise I can leave with the person?
But
like my last words.
But it'd be something that you would know that they wouldn't. That's like not something you
like. Merging traffic does not have the right of way.
That's actually quite. Yeah, I did not know that.
That would be helpful.
You're gazing out among the Highway 75. I was like, yeah, you're right. I did not need that.
No.
I-35 there.
The highway has the right of way. And
I did
as
not.
the merging vehicle, you have to adjust accordingly.
Enrique, do you have any
And if you're in the hammer lane
Wise
and you're not
words.
passing someone, get out of the hammer lane. The hammer lane being the left lane. That is for passing only. Get out of the freaking way. If you get in that lane, pass the person. Then when you're done passing, put your signal on, get in the lane you just passed, and get out of the way.
As Ludacris once said, move. Enrique, what would you say?
For wise words?
Yes.
I haven't reached that stage in my life.
Okay, well,
just yet.
there you go.
Or 350 degrees on the oven is pretty much appropriate for cooking anything. Just depends on the time.
It depends on the time. I've been reverse searing steaks, and you do want it like 400 at least.
You want to kick it up a notch and everything, but 350 would get it done.
Well, it's too long.
Just
You
it
gotta
takes a
go-
while.
Well, no, you don't want to take no
Because you don't want to put it on 200. Like almost everybody, they're like preheat it to what? I just put 350.
My new oven, it just preheats automatically
As automatic 350.
because it's right in the middle. You can cool off.
So if you're dying, I mean, it's going to be hard to impart something to somebody that's like, this is going to change your life.
But that's why you don't
But give
do
them
wisdom.
something practical.
No, just say what you say that you love them or something.
Say what
Unless
you're gonna say.
unless you're with people that you really don't know,
You would just say like, I loved you.
no. You tell people.
And I say that in the past tense because I'm dead. I'm dying. So I loved you. I love you. I guess you could say I love you presently.
Yeah, presently,
But here shortly, it's going to have been I loved you.
you wouldn't have to make that distinction. They would
Like
assume
I don't
so.
have to go into like the grammar of the
Past
situation.
tense. Oh,
I
Grandpa,
love you.
I
But
lo-
here shortly,
actually,
within moments,
Yeah.
I'm going to have loved you and I will be no more.
old Grandpa the grammar
As
Nazi.
I shed this mortal coil.
There you go. It's a very sad song.
Shedding the mortal coil.
This mortal coil.
This mortal coil.
That's that song when Superman died.
Really?
Yeah, you know that?
Nope. In what movie or show?
The one that I haven't watched, but the one that you told me he dies in.
Justice League?
Yeah, that one. I can't.
Actually, a Batman v Superman. He dies.
Whichever one he dies.
As I shed this mortal coil.
What? No, wait. That song was the other one when the Flash was doing something.
Oh, that's a good song too. In
Yes.
the Justice League, and like she's
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Not she's dying.
She's flying.
She gets in a car wreck, and
Yeah.
he's like
That's
adjusting
it.
her and the hot dogs at the same time.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on YouTube.
It's a very emotional.
That's
song.
Mortal Coil, I think. Pretty sure that's the right one.
Very emotional song.
Hey,
Is this the banter segment everyone was looking
yeah, hey,
forward
Christian just texted. We got to go.
to? What? I thought we were going to do another episode.
No, we ain't got time.
No, we don't got
What's he
time.
doing now?
Well, we're about
Where
to
are you
figure out.
boys at? I have whiskey that needs to be imbibed. All right, well, we
All right,
got to
we
go,
gotta
everybody. Jerry, sign off. I'll be
Uh,
next, and then Enrique, you do your thing.
Thank you for organizing this, Gabby. Send us an email, boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. This is Jerry.
This is Gabby.
This is
Here I am, here I am, waiting to hold you. Did I dream you dreamed about me? Were you here when I was forced out? Now my foolish boat is leaning, broken love alone on your rocks. For you see, touch me not, come back tomorrow. And oh my heart shines from the soul. Well, I'm as puzzled as a newborn child. I'm as riddled as the tide. Should I stand amid the breakers, or should I lie with death, my bride? Hear me sing, swim to me, let me in the fall. nothing to hold.